What's up, Panther fans? Welcome. It is week 1 of preseason, and I welcome you back to the Carolina Panthers video blog. You know, this is our 5th video now, and coming at you with this week's blog. I want to talk a little bit about my observations from a visit to training camp last week, as well as do a brief preview of Thursday night's game against the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm really excited about preseason. I mean, probably more than ever this year, because we've got so much young, hungry talent, and just they're ready to take the field and ready to get a really good look at them. A lot of our young talent that's really showing up as rookies so far in camp. But first, training camp. Went there last Monday and Tuesday for a couple practices. Saw some really great things, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Some players that look really good so far. One player that hasn't been talked about much, but is not going to make the roster, is Dexter Jackson. He also went to App like guy Monty Edwards here, and he made some really great catches. I want you to look out for him on Thursday. He's number 19. He played for Tampa. Was drafted in the second round a couple years ago, but was cut. But he looked really fast and was making some great catches. Just had to throw that out there first. And moving on from there, the quarterbacks, I think Matt Moore is over and beyond the number 1 right now. But Hunter Cantwell is looking pretty good too. I think he has a more realistic shot now than he did before, more than I thought that he would have a chance at that number 2 spot for this season. He's looking strong, has a great arm. He was staying after practice when I was out there, still out there practicing making throws. He's putting the time in big time this year. So he's making a move, and we'll see how he looks in preseason. But so far, it's Matt Moore, the outright number 1. That's who you're going to see. And on from there, some of the other rookies. I didn't see much of him while I was there at training camp, but Greg Hardy, he's been all the rave the last few weeks about how he's an athletic freak. They said he's the closest thing to Julius Peppers that we have right now since he's gone. But he's very athletic, and he's going to be a great player, I believe, with time. And I mean, already looking like he's making a lot of plays. So I'm really excited about that. And I watched Monty Edwards play quite a bit because he's from App State. Wanted to see him get some action in during practice. He's looking pretty good now. He's making progress. He's switching from a quarterback to a wide receiver from college. So there's going to be time to adjust, and he's making that adjustment from all that I could tell. He's got the quickness and speed, but he's just so shifty and electric. And I think that if they put him in some, which he'll likely get plenty of playing time Thursday, you're going to see some pretty cool things from him. He had some trouble at first, fielding punts and doing things like that because he's never done that. But now he's adjusting, and he's playing pretty well. I saw, not the camp I was at, but I saw a blog post on the Charlotte Observer saying that this past week he caught a pass from, I believe it was Hunter Cantwell, and just absolutely burned Charles Godfrey, our starting free safety. So he's that quick, and so we're looking good there. And right now it's the defensive side of the ball that is really showing up so far, which is good to see. Because that defensive line that's been kind of patchwork with some names you've heard, some names you haven't, putting it together and trying to make a good line for this season, and they're coming together pretty good as far as I can tell. Ron Meeks, they're really buying into his system still this year, and I think he's doing some great things with some a little less talent, but they're playing very hard, and we'll see how that comes together for the season. The offense, I read during FanFest, I wasn't at FanFest, but I read that the offense didn't play all that well during FanFest, but that's normal. Usually defense is a little leg up during training camp because the offense that takes a lot more to get going. But if you watched the Hall of Fame game last night on NBC, the Bengals and Cowboys, it was kind of a snooze fest for most of the time. It was the offense would just sputter for both teams, and just mostly ended up being field goals. So I'm just excited and ready for preseason. This game action Thursday night at Baltimore. I know it's preseason. A lot of people are just bored with it, but listen, it's Panther football. We're back. It's a taste, and maybe a small taste, but I'm ready for it. So let's see what we got. We're going to see a lot from the rookies. The starters will probably only play about one quarter, or maybe even less than that, probably. So we won't see much out of them. But this is really a chance for, as much young talent as we have a really great shot of seeing a lot of that young talent come through. Like another guy that's been getting a lot of action during training camp has been Josh Vaughn, the rookie running back from the University of Richmond. He was the backup to Tim Hightower, who's in Arizona. He was the backup for him at Richmond, and he's been getting a lot of touches at our camp since we've had some injuries to the running backs, and he's looked pretty good. So I think he's going to get a lot of action this Thursday night, and we're going to see how good he looks. And he may be a sleeper to nab a roster spot away from maybe a Mike Goodson if this injury that he's got, if it's more of a long-term thing, he may get cut. Who knows? And also we got Tyrell Sutton that I think that he's probably going to be good to stay, but you never know. So that's what camp's for, and we'll just go from there. So, but this Thursday I'm really excited to see what our wide receivers can do. Brandon LaFell, that's another one I forgot to mention from training camp. He's looked great during camp. He looks the part, and he's just a big body that knows how to block, knows how to catch. I think he's going to just run Dwayne Jarrett right out of town, what it looks like. So Dwayne Jarrett is just looking awful. It's like he's taking a step back from last year, in my opinion. He usually looks pretty good in camp, but this year it's just, no. I'm pretty confident that Dwayne Jarrett's going to get cut at the end of camp, if not sooner. So, besides that, I think LaFell's going to end up being the number 2 receiver, but Thursday night it's probably going to be Dwayne Jarrett starting with Kenny Moore, because that's the way they've been practicing. And look at these wide receivers, and later on they'll put in guys like Armani Edwards, guys like David Geddes, Trent Guy, who a lot of people are high on. He's a Charlotte native, played at Louisville. Really small guy, but really fast and good hands, so we'll see what he's got too. Aside from that, I want to see what kind of pressure we can get on defense. See if this young patchwork line is going to come through early on and get some pressure, because I think we've got the talent to do it. And also on the defensive side of the ball, look at John Beeson, because Beeson has been moved to the weak side linebacker spot, and they've put Dan Connor in the middle, which I'll tell you outright, I don't like this move. Some people think it's a good move, but I'm not confident yet that Dan Connor is going to be able to produce at the middle linebacker spot like anything like John Beeson can. And I just think a guy like Beeson, you're taking his talent away from that middle linebacker spot. I'm worried what that's going to do, but I guess that's what preseason's for. We're going to see what that looks like on Thursday night. And James Anderson has been taking the reps with the ones through training camp so far at the strong side spot. So, and he looked good at the end of last year. I think he's got a shot to do well there, along with Jamar Williams. To see some action. That's who we traded for with Chicago when we sent Chris Harris back there. So we'll see what we got there. And also, finally, I want to look at some of these DBs that we picked up late in the draft this year. Picked up 3 guys in the 6th and 7th round that are defensive backs, and I think it's, McLean, I believe that's who it is, from Connecticut. He looked really good at camp that I saw. He's all over the place, making hits, making plays. I was very impressed for a 7th round pick. I think we've got a ton of value from this past year's draft class late in the later rounds. They're just looking really great right now. So we'll see how it all comes together. I look for a lot of maybe a little experimentation at first, but then later in the game it's just going to be run. They're just going to run up the middle and probably not try to give anything away. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So we'll just see how it goes from there. And just be sure to watch Thursday night. Right now I'm going to get out of here, and make sure you come check out the Facebook group, the Carolina Panthers, and we talk a lot of great football stuff over there. And we've also got a new fantasy league that we're getting together right now on ESPN. If you want to be a part of that, try to get over there and get in on that, and we'll be starting that soon and getting a draft together. So we'll see y'all later, and go Panthers.